So I've been wanting to do a bit of an update on these babies, my 650B wheel set, more specifically the Compass Switchback Hill tires. This is the Extralight version and they ride like a dream. I mean, I've had so much fun on these tires, but it hasn't been smooth sailing all the way. If you see my first ride video on these wheels, maybe you remember me saying something like this. I had a few comments on the first video, people having the same tires, or at least Compass tires, Extralights, and they experienced some leakage through the sidewall. I did not experience that. However, if we take a napkin and do something like this. I don't know if you can see that very well, but we have plenty of weeping from the sidewalls, unfortunately. And this didn't start in the beginning. It took about 2 or 3 weeks before they started weeping like this. And it's not the end of the world as long as they can hold the air and everything. But after my second bike packing trip and some more gravel fully packed, the day after my front tire was flat. And as soon as I pumped up the tire above 40 PSI, I could hear it was leaking somewhere. It wasn't a hole in the sidewall, it wasn't ripped or anything, it was just like a tiny surface scratch that I could feel the air coming out, and it wouldn't seal for some reason. So I started to suspect that because of all the weeping from the sidewall, that the sealant might have run out. And I mean, the sealant should last like, I think it's six months or something like that. So I decided to pop the bead off and see, and as you can see, almost all sealant were gone. So it wasn't that strange that it wouldn't seal. So I popped some new sealant in, a bit clumsy, but I could seat the tire again, no problem with my normal floor pump, and that little leak sealed pretty quickly. So if you refill the tire with sealant, don't clean off the old sealant from inside the tire, because then it's just gonna start over again. If you leave the old sealant like as a coating inside the tire, it will hopefully stop weeping through the sidewall eventually. I think mine has calmed down a bit since the first couple of weeks at least. Compass recommends orange seal. That's almost impossible to get a hold of here in Japan. So I went with the Stance Ray sealant on recommendation from Above Bike, where I got the tires. So let's just see where we are now. I pumped these tires up to about 40 PSI probably a month ago now, I think. And they are 17 PSI now, which for a month it's not too bad for tubeless tires with semi-leaking sidewalls. If I keep having issues with this, I will pin a comment down below, so check that if you're interested. One other annoying thing about this weeping sidewall business is you really need to make an effort to keep the sidewalls clean. It's not that much of a trouble if you're like me, wash your bike basically after every big ride. And I just used a pretty firm scrubbing brush and soapy water. Yeah, scrub the sidewalls thoroughly and it should be pretty okay. So if you're experiencing the same issue with weeping sidewalls, definitely check the sealant from time to time. And don't wait like 6 months, so your tires will probably be totally empty by then. I'm kind of curious though, if you're using orange seal, like Compass recommends, do you have the same issue with weeping sidewalls? If you have experienced the same issue with Compass tires, Extralight or the non-Extralight versions, let me know in the comments how they've been working for you. Do you have the same issue or not? It would be interesting to hear. And like I said, these tires ride like a dream. It's definitely the most fun tires and wheels I've had this far. And as much as I love how these tires ride, I probably wouldn't recommend them as a first tubeless tire. You can run them with tubes, of course, but these weeping sidewall issues, yeah, it's not really optimal. So that was just a quick update on the tires. I just wanted to stay totally transparent. On my first video, there was no problem at all, and that's not always the case once you start using them a bit. So Hopefully that's useful information for someone out there. If you found that interesting or helpful in any way, leave a like and subscribe if you feel like it. Always appreciated. And I will catch you in the next one. I will probably start disassembling my crashed bike and see what we can save. So, peace.